This music introduced our film of Rostherne Gala, held in the summer of 1964. And to celebrate the passing of half a century, the villagers decided to have another one. During this period, Rostherne and its surroundings have changed little, although some traditional village amenities have not survived, as we shall hear about in the Reverend Robinson's speech as he opens the gala. Preparations began the previous year, and on this Friday evening in mid-September, these arrangements are put to the test. The gazebo has arrived a bit later than expected, and is a major erection task requiring many hands and much coordination. Fortunately, the weather is kind on this still balmy evening. This one task needs a bit of extra strength.
The official test games and most county and village cricket wear white, but if they have these one-day specials or some sort of limited over match.
A final effort of might and muscle sees it upright and pegged down. As the bunting is hung, the light quickly fades, so time to go and hope that the promised good weather for the following morning materialises. The forecast was correct, and any anxieties are forgotten. Now the work of setting everything out on the tables begins, and items have to be priced, if this has not already been done.
I've not marked anything up.
Is that an excuse? Health and safety rules have to be observed, unlike in 1964. With visitors now arriving and preparations just complete, it's time for the Reverend Philip Robinson to open the gala.
Well, hello everybody. Can you all hear me? It's 12 o'clock. I could say it's crackerjack. You'd all sort of cheer, wouldn't you? It's my very great privilege to welcome you all to the Rostherne Gala, and to all those who are visiting, not just from the village but from outside. It's great to welcome the Mearside Brass Band and Michael Fenton, who are going to be playing for us later on. The ringers are in the tower waiting to serenade us from there, and Mr. James Walton here, who 50 years ago made the film of the first first Rostherne Gala is also making a film of this gala as well, and that film will be available together with the original film later on when it's been edited and put together and printed. That's going to be very, very interesting. 50 years ago, I was 14 years old, and living in Chorlton, where Mr. James Walton's film society was. And yet I knew about Rostherne from my uncle and aunt, who used to enjoy walking out here in this beautiful countryside. 5 years ago I came here at the invitation of Bishop Peter to have a look at the area with a view to coming here as priest in charge. And so Patricia and I drove around, and I was very disappointed, I have to say. It was a beautiful village, it still is, but there was no pub, there was no school, there was no shop, and there was no post office. Now those things are what we normally accept are part of the heart of a living and breathing community. But since coming here, I found that in spite of the lack of those facilities, after all, the pub went many, many years ago, and the school and the shop and the post office went since the last Rostherne Gala was held 50 years ago. This community is still a living and breathing entity. It has a fantastic parish council who are passionate about the village, about the safety of its people and the beauty of its environment. We have a great community association in the Friends of Rostherne, and the Rostherne Gala Committee, an offshoot of that, has arranged this gala today. So it's been a very, very great privilege for me to sort of be here today and to pay tribute to all those who have helped so much to make Rostherne Village what it is today, and this gala, which I'm sure is going to be a great success. We've got some beautiful weather, we've got plenty to eat and drink, and if you've not brought any with you, you can enter the raffle and try and win some here at the table. All the funds raised from this gala, that will be split equally between this Tom Gates School and the improvement to the playground there and the Rostherne Church. Quite interesting, on the film of the last Rostherne Gala 50 years ago, I did pick up that it was in aid of the new heating system in the church. Pity we didn't have the gala 2 years ago when we put in our new gas boiler. But still, it's my very great privilege to say, please enjoy yourselves. I'm sure you will. And in a moment, I'm going to send a signal to the tower for the ringers to start. And after they've been ringing, the Mearside Brass Band will play for us. So please enjoy the Rostherne Gala.
Here's an enjoyable judging task for cake lovers. Don't they look mouth-watering?
Eat it now, I think. Alfie, how many?
Yeah, I like a nice crispy top. Nice bread. Even takes the lunch
And what are you doing here today?
Promoting Edge to North. And we're also trying to...
Before the wind, and what's your name? Owen, and tell me about... Hang on, before you get played. Oh, third place. And where are you from, Ellen?
Annie, do you want to help?
This is not as easy as it looks. That's a lovely smile. It's colourful, but not very practical.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the vegetable judging competition has taken place.
Please go up to the far end. We're doing it in heats of 10.
Alrighty, marks. Get set. Go! And here we go now, they're hopping down the field. And handing over to Michael. Ah, there's a clear runner here coming up. She's coming up in the Scottish basic bag. Oh! After three. Oh!
Come on, Fred, come on. Come on.
Sack races, obstacle courses, three-legged races, coconut shies, the traditional forms of entertainment being enjoyed by people of all ages.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this should be interesting.
Oh, yes.
Now, here's the latest test for your dog training ability. No problems with obedience here.
Yeah, we'll get
Does this dog know better than his owner as to what should be done with the lead? That's right. Give up and move to the next obstacle. At last, he's realised.
Good boy.
The balloon hat has survived so far.
Ready, go! Go!
The doggy event ends in this rather chaotic race.
On your marks. Get set. Yes, we have a winner over there in the little Tom Bubble Hatwell.
They don't seem so composed. Jan. Jan guys. Thanks. And Jan get it again. And Jan get it again. And Jan get it again.
Judging is now complete, and time for the winners to be presented with their awards. As the gala nears its end, we start to make our way home after a very enjoyable day. Here's to the next 50 years.